we are beginning the lesson 25. The page Zayin 7, the left column, the line 22. The Zohar explained as the two parts of Binah that was descended from the Rosh, from the head of the Arichan Pin, whereby the upper Binah became Abba V'Yima, was descended from the pair of the Arichan Pin up till the place that we call Chazeh of the Arichan Pin. And the Chazeh of the Arichan Pin is the place in the body of a Partsuf where the Malchut rises, ascends as due to the second Tzimtzum. So it is important to know the position of the Partsufim in the Atzilut, in their Katnut, in their state of Katnut. And then we see that the Abba V'Yima stand between the pair of the Arichan Pin, the mouth, the pair of the Arichan Pin, and the Chazeh. The Chazeh is we know already this word. And then behind the Chazeh of the Arichan Pin, the breasts of the Arichan Pin in the body, up till the Tabur, the navel, is the place of the Yishsut, of the lower, and Abba V'Yima, as he explained to us, don't need Chokhmah, and they are installed as Avir, as air with Yud inside, and this Yud doesn't come ever out of this word Avir. It means it always stays Avir, it always stays air, and doesn't transform itself even in a gadlut into or without this letter yud. Then it's getting or, and or is chokhmah, the light of chokhmah. Whilst the yishsut is structured not with this yud. We will study this very sort of, but just what is necessary to know. In the Yishsut, there is no such a place. It's not structured in this way, but it's structured by the Ateret Yesod. And Ateret Yesod was no restriction for Ateret Yesod. So Ateret Yesod rises in the Katnut, the Ateret Yesod rises up to the particular 10 Sferot of the Yesod, and then in the Gadlut comes the light that of Gadlut, Absag, as we have spoken, and pushes this Ateret Yesod back to its place, and that's why the Chokhmah, the light of Chokhmah, can be received in the Yesod, by the Yesod, in order to give it to the Zohar. Step by step, you will learn it, you will feel it, and now try it. Sometimes it's necessary to do like small children does. I do it every day towards the learning of my great teacher, like Ari or Shimon Bar Yochai. That sometimes we study something we don't feel, it doesn't taste, as it were. It means that I don't have yet developed the taste, the feeling of taste for this particular, particular products that I eat. If you eat just normal something, like children that they are eating something what mother prepares, pap, how do you call it, and they don't feel, they don't like it, and they don't understand that it will be good for them to eat this untasty food. The same way is also in spirituality. You must go above your understanding, and the more you do it, the more you will understand. The line 22, the page again, the page Zayin, 7, the left column, the line 22. וזה סוד הפרסה, גו מאוהי דאריך אנפין, שנעשה 23 במקום החזה, שהוא סוד הרקיע המבדיל בין מים 24 עליונים, שהם הראש דאריך אנפין, ואבא ואמא עליונים 25, המלבישים אותו מהפה עד החזה. כי עד שם 26 נמשכת בחינת הראש דאריך אנפין, כנ"ל, ועל כן הפרסה 27 עומדת מתחתיהם ומבדלת ביניהם לבין 28 ישסות וזון, שהם מים תחתונים הנמצאים 29 בפגם מהחיסרון הערת הראש דאריך אנפין. Point. If we know where the light comes, to which point the light comes and where it stops, then we know already how to work out ourselves, to rise up the man, and where we will receive the light, and which light. You see, then a person becomes his an autonomous feature, autonomous creature, and knows what he does. Because everything is 10 sfirot, everything that is created is 10 sfirot. Actually, only 7 created. But actually the 6 days of creation and 1 day, the Shabbat. 6 days of creation is masculine and the Shabbat is feminine. And 6 days give to the 7th day, the Shabbat. So actually 7 is created. That's why number 7, all the world knows that this is the holy number. Everything exists of this 7, but in a particular, everything that is 7 has its own 10 sfirot. With this thought 22, probably we will make a picture, so a figure of this construction of this Arichanpin, Abouima, Yeshsut, and Zon. The very important one. That you will study this, that first look at this picture that in this lesson we will make for this lesson, and try to visualize this, and up till you will know these places where the particular partsufim, clothes, dress, the Arichanpin, you use it, and then try it, visualize within yourself. Without knowing the positioning, this is not what can we do, and how can we rise up and descend to our places. This is the necessary knowledge that we first study it like mathematics or geometry. Also, I studied this like this. But then, if you say, now I rise to the Yeshsut, how it works, you already know when you experience this. So, step by step. 22. With the Sod HaParsa, and this is the essence of the Parsa. We know that, the Parsa. Between Go Meohi the Arichanpin, that is within the Arichanpin. Shenasa b'makom ha'chazeh, that was made in the place of the chazeh, of the breast of the Arichanpin. You see how Zohar uses all these places and calls them like organs of a body of a man. שהוא סוד הרקיע מבדיל בין מים עליונים, that this is the firmament that divides, makes division between מים עליונים, 24, between the higher waters, שהם הראש דאריכנפין, that these are, who are these higher waters? That they are the Rosh of Arihanpin, the head of the Arihanpin, Abavuyima Elain, and plus the higher Abavuyima, 25. Amal Bishim Oto, that which Abavuyima, that dress him, dress the Arihanpin, Mihape Adachase, from the pe, the mouth, Adachase, Ad, till the Chase. Ki Ad Sham, and this is very important what he says to us. Ki Ad Sham, 26 Nimshechet, Bechinat Rosh Darichanpin, because till over there, till the Chazeh, Nimshechet is drawn the aspect of Rosh of Arihanpin, the head of Arihanpin. I will explain it. Kanal, as said above, as mentioned above, where can, and that's why aparsa omedet mitachtehem, and that's why the parsa is standing below them, umavdelet beinehem, and makes a division between them. So between whom? Between the Rosh, head of the Arihanpin, plus the higher Abavihima, and from one side, and the Leben 28 Yishsud Vizon, and between Yishsud and Zon, from another side. Shehem Mayim Atachtonim, that Yishsud and Zon, that they are the lower waters. As the Torah speaks about the division that Elohim made division between the upper waters and the lower waters. This is what is said about that under this parsa of the in the Chazeh of Arihanpin, below of the Chazeh of Arihanpin, there is the place of lower waters, and this is the Yishsud and Zon and Zeirabin and Dukwa. Shehem Mayim Atachtonim 28, that they are the lower waters. Hanimtsayim 29 Bepagam V'achisaron Ha'arat HaRosh Daricharpin. Oh, and this is the Hanimtsayim, that they are, the Yishsud and Zon, are situated, they have an how do you call it? Pagam, they have a defect, they, that actually has have a defect of shortage, chisaron, of harat harosh, the arichanpin, of the shining of the head of the arichanpin. It will take time before you will feel this, what is standing here, what he speaks about here. And he will tell it more times in different ways, but now he gives only the top of this phenomena, how it works. And it's already good to know now this and this and this, and why will come later on. Just keep this, why is this like, why is like this? Because a man in our world, especially in the Western world, is so, from his childhood or even in his genetic genes, his genetic is so structured, he wants to know why, just with his head. But keep all, as I said I've said the last time, keep all these why, and know this for sure, that from all those whys, you'll become wise. So, but step by step. וזה סוד 29, מים 30, תחתונים בוכים, ענן בעינן למהווה קודם 31 Malka point. וזה סוד 29, and this is the essence or secret as literally translated. And this is the secret of what is written, that Mayim Tachtonim 30 Bochim. It is written that the lower waters are Bochim, Highland, are crying, weeping, yes, are weeping. And saying in Aramaic 30, Anan Bainan Lemehave Kodem Malka, we desire to be before the king. Point. Because they are under the king. They are under this parsa that in between the body of the Arichanpin, that is called Chazeh, a very crucial place in the Arichanpin. 31. Ki rotzim la'alot ulekabel ha'arat ha'chochma. 32. Mirosh the Arichanpin. Why they are weeping? 31. Ki rotzim la'alot, but because they want to rise up, ulekabel ha'arat, and to receive the shining of the Chochmah, 32, from the Rosh of the Arichanpin. Point. It can sound a little bit strange, because the Rosh ends in the Peh. Yes, Peh, the mouth. But we see that the Abba V'Ima, he includes also the Abba V'Ima as a part of the Rosh, despite the fact that Binah is descended from the Rosh. And he counts actually the place where the head of the Arihanpin ends, the place, not the Peh, but the place of Chazeh, of the Arihanpin. And this is, as it were, the place of the Rosh of the Arihanpin, how it's possible. You remember that we've always mentioned that, pointed out that in the Kabbalah we must look first of all on the position. Yeah, there is a position of a Partsuf, a Sphira, a level, and there is also the qualitative position, just that shows how it works, some feature that we are describing or we are learning, that we learn all about. So the Rosh, the head of the Arihanpin, the place of it, the normal standard place of it, is the Peh of Arihanpin. Of course, nothing changed. The Peh is Peh, the mouth or the place where the Rosh ends is always in the Peh. And still, but still, Abba V'Ima, you remember, Abba V'Ima descended from the Rosh. Abba V'Ima has the quality of the Rosh. Yes, they descended from the Rosh, but nothing happened to them, because whether they are standing in the Rosh or in the body of the Arihanpin, they still prefer the Chasadim, they don't need the Chokhmah, so they don't suffer. Their nature is not changed due to the fact that they are descended from the head of the Arihanpin. And normally, look, normally in and also here in the Arihanpin, the Masach is standing always where? In the Peh. Yes, in the Peh, always we have the Masach, and there is in the Peh Malchut, the Rosh, Malchut of the head, that stops, as it were, the light, reflects the light, then counts how much she is able to receive in the body, because the body needs to receive, and not the head, and then it receives. So also here in the head of the Arihanpin, we have the Peh in the Malchut, and the Masach stands in the Peh. This power of the Arihanpin actually stands in the Peh. But Abba V'Ima descended, or Bina descended, Bina of the Arihanpin descended to the body of the Arihanpin, and this place is now dressed by the Partsuf Abba V'Ima. From this Bina, because the Bina, as we have learned, was divided in two parts, and which are qualitative, distinguished, which are distinguished by quality. And if in the spirituality something getting distinguished by quality, one spiritual object, then we are speaking about two different objects. in the same way is that the Binah, this Binah that came out of the body, or in the body of the Arichanpin, was divided in two, and that's why we have two different Partsufim, Abba V'Yima, that they dress the Abba Binah, and Yirsu that dress the lower Binah. And so the Masach is standing, Masach of Arichanpin is standing in the Peh. But, and the Abba V'Yima, the higher Binah, and the Abba V'Yima, the Partsufim, Abba and Ima, that dress now this place from the Peh to the Chazeh. They are standing under this Masach. And normally it's like this, that everything that stands under the Masach is a certain Masach like Peh, that they undergo the changes, or they are ruled, as it were, by this Masach. But here is something different. Why? Because the Abba V'Yima, even though they are descended under the Masach from the Peh to the Chazeh of the Arichanpin, nothing changed in them. So the working, the Masach in the Peh doesn't work, as it were, in them, doesn't change anything in them, because they want only Hasadim, and for Hasadim was no restriction. So whether they stand above or they are standing lower, nothing. They are not liable. How do you call it? Yeah, is good or not? They are no. That this Masach can't. The working, the power of this Masach doesn't reflect. Can't reflect itself in this Abba V'Yima. So the power of the Masach in the Peh is only can be felt, is felt only from the Chazeh of the Arichanpin and below. Because Abba V'Yima, they don't need the Chokhmah, and every Masach is, of course, Masach reacts on, rejects, as it were, Chokhmah, and here that's why only the place where the Chokhmah is actually needed is the place of Chazeh of the Arichanpin. So the body, in the body, the place Chazeh, the breasts of the Arichanpin, this is the place where actually the Masach of the Peh can execute its power, because only from this place, from the Chazeh, and below the Chazeh, we see over there is the Partsuf Yeshsut, and then lower is Zon, and all of them need the Chokhmah. That's why it stands over there, the working of the Masach, actually from that place of the works only from that place of the Chazeh. But up till this place of the Chazeh that's why he said that up till the Chazeh is the Rosh, is the head of the Arihanpin. Because of this Masach doesn't work for Abouim, but only for Yeshsut and so on. That's why he says, and up till this place, up till the place of the Chazeh of the Arihanpin, shines this light of the head of the Arihanpin. Even though that Abouima doesn't need it, but they also don't destruct it. That's what he told us. And that's why from this Chazeh and above, we have what the Torah speaks about in the act of the creation, that it was divided, this place was divided in upper waters and lower waters. This is what the Torah also speaks about. Actually, the state of Katnut, because only the state of Katnut, this is the creation of the world. Yeah, the creation of the world is the creation of 7 Sfirot, 7 days. What does it mean, 7 days? That the 7 lower Sfirot fall into the 7 lower Sfirot of the higher level fall into the upper place of the lower level. We will see, this is the Katnut, as we have learned. Step by step, it takes time, it takes time, and it is work what we are doing. Don't forget it. This is something different than coming together with each other and to make noise with a group, drinking, hallelujah, screaming and showing on the screen some pictures, and everyone is screaming somewhere in a hotel, and nice, if everyone is nice clothes, there's nothing wrong with his white clothes or creme nice clothes, it's beautiful, but all this is something totally different from what brings the refuah, what brings the how do you call it? Healing, yeah, spiritual healing. Because it's all upper things. And we must analyze, we must look inside ourselves. Because how can we come to the spirituality? How? We are completely in this world, with all our feelings, with all our strivings, everything. Only and beneath us, as it were, we have this point, what is called Malchut. Even the place of this Malchut. And we must go up through the Malchut. Always the first station is Malchut. Of course, we say normally that every particular partzuf, the correction starts with the Kli Keter. Yeah, the first light, the light comes always in the highest Kli, and this is Keter, and then Chokhmah, of course, like this. This is just when we are speaking about a particular correction and building up of the partzuf. But when we are speaking about the qualitative correction and rising elevation of a lower level to a higher, that comes always, we must go always, we have always before us, before us, we have Malchut. The Malchut has these gates, and we must go through these gates. And before we coming to the Malchut, there are gates, and these gates are surrounded by klipot, by all kinds of thorns, spiritual thorns, and other things that are preventing a person who is not worth to enter to these gates, to enter it. And every time we have different Malchut before us, because every day I'm different. What I have corrected yesterday was what was for me the top. The top of all my possibilities, what I could achieve yesterday, is today. It is the Uitgangspunt, is starting point. Yes, the starting point today. And today, the next day, and it means that the next day I must start, as it were, from the 0 point. But this is not the 0 of yesterday. You see, and then in my prayer, in whatever I do in the Torah, in my striving to bring myself in conformity with the laws of the universe, with 10 Sferot, what we are studying, of Atzilut. I meet again and again with this task to pass this Malchut, and the thorns, and they are different, and they have different clothes, and they are different feeling I maybe experience in meeting them. But this is like this. And this is the point, the most difficult point, to pass through this Malchut. And passing through Malchut, we also, by passing this Malchut, I mean to rising up the man, we also make the Malchut rising up with us. This is spiritual. This is how you must step by step build up this spiritual imagination, that from one point the Malchut in every single situation standing firmly on its own place, and only the my kili, my man rises up, but the Malchut is firmly stands on its own place, on the ladder, spiritual ladder. And from another point, she also rises up with me. Some additional act of rising up with me, but I am one who who makes it happen, who caused this action. And then my man rises up together with this Malchut. And this means that I pass through the gate of this Malchut. And she brings my man, as it were, to the Yesod of the Yerampin. And this is already the point of where I feel, when I pass this Malchut together with Malchut, and I receive through the Malchut, always through the Malchut. Even if I pass to, very important what I want to say, even when I pass through the Malchut and I come to the Yesod, it doesn't mean that the Malchut that rose with me above, that she is behind me or lower me, below me, that I rose above this Malchut. I always have the Malchut before me. One Malchut stands at its own place, at the initial place, where I've started rising up the man. She stands over there, but once I'm rising above, the Malchut also rises up with me due to my awakening, spiritual awakening. And then we together, she brings me, my man, to a piece of my soul. I'm here on the earth, but my awakening, this is some additional piece of myself that rises up with this Malchut to the Ateret Yesod. And she gives it, as it were, provides it, it gives it to the Yesod, Ateret Yesod. And it is, as it were, she gets all this beauty out of my man. She makes her up, yeah, with all this, how do you call it, Sieringen, dat zij versiert zich met wat ik doe, maakt mooi die. That, you see, that she, you know, like a woman makes when she goes to the party, or when she goes to the date, she has a date, yeah, all this, yes, so that a woman, when she goes to the date, yeah, what she does, she puts all her earrings in her hair, all kinds, nice dressing, all these things that she makes these all preparations for meeting with her beloved, one. Yes, the same is with the man. The man, what is from someone who is lower, the soul. All the souls come from the Malchut. So when the souls bring man, then this man, she puts it on herself as all these hearings or things, nice adornings that adorn her, and this she brings to the Zeranpin, or to the first is the Yesod of the Zeranpin. And Yesod already has the light. Yes, the Malchut doesn't have the light of her own. Only the light, we call it the light Choser, the light reflection of the light of her, but not the direct light that comes from above, the light of the mercy. Only from Zeranpin and above there is the light of the mercy. So she brings me to the Yesod, but doesn't mean that I can receive from Yesod or from other upper Sfirot. No way. This is very important thing that I want now to just, it comes in, it's very important to know this. In my lessons I don't know whether I speak about this, whether I have said about this, but always the Malchut is before me. I can't receive anything from above but through the Malchut. This is a very important feature. That's why you see what he said to us, that the lower, what is said, that in some way in the Torah, that Mayim atachtonim bochim, that the lower waters are weeping. They're weeping because they are standing, the line 30, because they are standing below this place where the Malchut actually stands in not the Malchut itself, but the working, the power of this Malchut that actually stands in the pair of the Arihanpin. They feel it from this power is actually begins its working, begins to work from this place of the Chazeh. And that's why they are lower waters, or Yishsut. And Zon are weeping because they want to stay over the bridge, to stay with the king, and to stay with the king means above this parsa in the Chazeh of the Arihanpin. Because when they stay above the Chazeh, they will receive automatically the shining of the Chokhmah from the Rosh of the Arihanpin. 33. Ot Dalet, ובזה נבוא לביור השם membet. Point. The ot or paragraph dalet 4. And by this we come to the explanation of the name membet. The name, remember this, membet, the name 42. Very important name for us. Point. In our study, we will pay a lot of attention for gematria, for not only for positioning of a certain level, a certain sphera, but we will also define this sphera or level or parzuf, we will define it with gematria, and the gematria it will be through the name of the through the holy names. Actually, every word in the Torah is holy word, and absolutely every word, single word in the Torah, the gematria. If you look at the gematria, if you look at the connections, if you look at the notricon of the first letters of certain words, everything is connected, everything is full of the secrets. And this is what we'll do also steadily. We will increase this study, the real study that only Ari introduced in this world. It comes, of course, from Shimon Bar Yochai. But then Ari developed this phenomenon due to the fact that Eliyahu, the great prophet Eliyahu, was descended to him and have told him all what he had told him. Uvaze 33. Uvaze navo levayer Hashem membet. And now we are coming to the point to explain the name membet 42. Point. Key 34. Nimtza Batikunei HaZohar 35. We can read also in between the brackets, because this method as a method is very important too. Not to go through this everything. Tikkun Samech Tet B'Ma'amar 35. De Baalei Kavin Nusach Acher. שמתבאר שם השם 36 membet בבית אופנים, double point. אופן ראשון, אופן א', הוא השם membet 37, דאצילות, המכונה שם דיוקנה ממש. כלומר, 38, שכולהו השמות נחתמו ממנו. Vehu dalet haotiyot 39 de Havaya bepashut ve eser otiyot de Havaya bamilui 40 ve koach haotiyot de milui hamilui shehen beyachat mem bet 41 otiyot. Very, very important now to listen very careful what you are hearing now. I don't know the level of my students who study with us. That's why I just explain it, and what you know, what you don't know. But don't rely upon what you already know. Just listen and experience what you hear. And we will be repeated many, many times. You see, over 2 years you will feel it much comfortable with all these names of what he speaks about. You know, over 5 years you will be familiar with this. It will not be anymore. You will not need to count anymore. You will just look at this. What is this? This is the Achoraim of the Parsuf of the Ab. You already know. This is Pakad. The Gematria is Pakad. Or you will say, Ekie, the name Ekie in Milui, filled up the name Ekie, you will say, that is Kuf Samech Aleph 161. You will know this already immediately by looking only at a word that you will come across. And you will be, it will be tremendous importance of all these things. You will see, the Torah will open for you in a tremendous way. You will look at the Torah and you will say, how great is this? What was the Torah for me before? And what is the Torah, what they studying? Is that Torah? You will feel, you will come across the name Moshe. What means Moshe? Is this Moshe, a man who just became a leader of the Jewish nation? Why is his name, what is the name of Moshe? The Torah speaks only about, we are studying the Torah only from Atzilut, yes, the Torah of the world Atzilut, and not of the lower Torah of the Bia, with all these controversies. But then you will know that Moshe is not just a man of flesh and blood. You will learn that why was Moshe so beautiful? Why this princess of an example what it means, all these gematria like this, all these names. That why was this, she was so, the princess, of the Pharaoh of Egypt. Why, when she saw him lying in this, in the waters, and he cried, and she saw that he was beautiful, a beautiful child. Okay, they say that he was born circumcised, but what it means, and then what was his name Moshe when he was young? Why was it beautiful why was he the Moshe, and they called him Moshe? Yes, she called him Moshe. Why? She saw that he was so beautiful and she called him Moshe. Okay, because Moshe means that he was drawn out of the waters. Okay, beautiful, nice pshat, nice, simple explanation. But only in the Kabbalah, Ari will explain you that the eyes are getting open of the beauty of the spirituality only from Ari, because you will see that the reason for this, because she saw, first of all the house of the Pharaoh of Egypt, they could see only the name, they knew only the name Elohim, only the severity, the name of stringent, strict severity of the name of the holy name, Elohim. This they knew. The name Havaya, the merciful holy name, they didn't know. It was not revealed to them until it was revealed only to Moshe for the first time. Even not, it was not revealed to our ancestors. How do you call it? To the fathers Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. But only Moshe had received this, because Moshe, also this is a grateful thing, because Moshe was born in the 26th generation from the creation of the world. 26 is the name of Havaya, the gematria of Havaya. But also this fact that the princess of Egypt, that she saw, when she saw him, she saw that he was beautiful, and she called him Moshe, because Moshe is 4 times. Why? What is nice in that, what I say, it will come later. Moshe is 4 times the name of Elohim, yeah, plus 1, and 1 is the general point that is adding. And when Moshe was, this is the name of Moshe in the Katnut, so he was beautiful in the Katnut, in his small state, and when he was already grown up, when he went for his mission to take out the nation, Bnei Israel, the sons of Israel, out of Egypt, then he received the state of Gadlut. What was Moshe? Not this man who couldn't speak, even, who had problems with his articulation. As they say, they didn't understand what does it mean, this. But then he had received this Gadlut, the state of Gadlut. Only in the state of Gadlut one can take out the nation, as it were, out of the klipot. Egypt is like klipot, and to take them out, one needs to get the Gadlut. And what is the Gadlut? Always we work with 2 items, masculine and feminine. He rose to he received his powers from Abba and Ima. Yes? And Abba is the name of, the Abba is actually Havaya, and Ima is Ekia. So Abba is Havaya, Yud K, Vav K, because it's masculine. And Ima, the Ima of the higher Abba Ima. Ima is, her name is, or better to say, the power of the holy power, that the name of the holy power that is embedded in this name of Ima is Ekia, is Aleph, Ehye, we call it in the Torah. Aleph, Hey, Yud, and Hey. Ehye means I will be. And in the state of Gadlut, we have, if you get the Achoraim of Abba, it means the Achoraim, it means the 7 lower Sfirot, because he shines to the Ima with his 7 lower Sfirot. And if you take Achoraim from the Havaya, Achoraim means special way how we will learn what means, how can we express Achoraim, the state of Achoraim, so the behind, as it were, the kilim that shines behind it. We do it like this: the first letter, and then the first letter plus the first and the second, then plus the first, the second, and the third, and then the first plus the first, the second, the third, and the fourth letter. If it is simple, in the simple Havai, simple way, and then it can be also in the filling in the filled form. Then we make the first Havaya, the first is Yud, yeah, Yud K, Vav K. What we are doing? We make it Yud, fully written, Yud, Vav, Dalet, and then the next letter is Hey, yes? Then we say plus Yud, Vav, Dalet, plus Yud, Vav, Dalet, and then Hey, also filled, Hey, Yud, plus the third lid, the third is, again, the first is Yud, Vav, Dalet, and then the second is Hey, Yud, and then the third item is Vav, and Vav is also filled, is Vav, Yud, Vav. And then the last ones, and if you will count this, you will receive the name Pakad. Just an example. I just give you, just don't remember this, but just for example, and it will be Pakad, Pei, Kuf, and Dalet. This is what Abba gives to Ima in a certain state of Gadlut. And Moshe had received these powers. And this is what Abba gave to Ima. And Ima has its own powers, yes? Ima, the name of Ima is Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey, what he say? Ehye, yeah? I will be. And if you take now this name, Ehye, and you make it in filled, just filled this name. How do you make it? How do you make it? Aleph is fully written is Aleph, Lamed Pe, yes? Then the plus the second letter of this name is Hey, and you make it also, you add it Hey and Yud, fully written, and then the third letter is Yud, fully written is Yud, Vav, Dalet, and then the last one is again Hey, Hey and Yud. You will receive the name of this Ima, the higher Ima, in field, and this is Kuf, Samach, Aleph. Just an example, just came in my head an example, and if you put it together, Pakad, this is from Abba, so Pei, Kuf, Dalet, it is, and Kuf, Samach, Aleph from Ima, and if you count this together, you will have the name Moshe, Mem, Shin, and Hey. You see, this is something that, an example of what is the Torah of the Atzilut. Not the Moshe as a leader, this with a stock, with all these attributes of power, but the name of Pakad and Kasa. So what the power, then we know where Moshe had got all these powers to go to return back to the Klipot, to the Egypt, and to take the nation with him outside. From whom? From Abba V'Yima, and Abba V'Yima, this is the name Elokim, and Abba V'Yima, this is Abba is Havaya, and Ima is Ekia. So these two names with the Havaya inside of this, he could get the Am Israel, the nation of Israel, out of the Klipot. This is something else than something great when you will experience this. And in place of all these earthly stories, national stories, or even something religious stories, it doesn't work anymore. It's interesting when I was about to stop with the learning only of the traditional Torah, and I went all over the world, and I wanted to speak. I spoke to all these great rabbis of the world, and one of them looked at me, and he said to me, "You know," and then I was already about to take the Kabbalah. I didn't know why. I didn't know yet. It just came from above. Of course, everything comes from above in this case. But then I remember one Rabbi. He said to me, "You know," and I asked for Zohar. No one knew Zohar. No one can give Zohar. In this generation, there are always hidden individuals who study Zohar, of course. But you can't find rabbis who can give you Zohar. I mean, in the way that it will help. Some learn it by themselves, and but it's not given to them to explain it to others. And so one of the great rabbis, he said to me, "You know, there is a danger in touching the Kabbalah." The Kabbalah. I said, asked him, "What for danger?" He said, "Then they it is a danger that they will get rid of the religion of the religion. That was great thing, because that's why, and afterwards I understood why my brothers don't study Kabbalah and Zohar. They know they tremble before Zohar, but they don't touch it because they are afraid to come deeper and higher than just human relationship between themselves, that they just shows the chesed, loving kindness to another one. This is good enough, this we understand, but to pass through the religion, but to come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the Creator itself, tete-a-tete, this is something what one needs courage, and doesn't need, sometimes one doesn't want this courage. He wants this world, he wants a little bit nice things with others, etc. And then they study about Moshe, and the Moshe was a great leader, and this, and they study this like story. Others they study in another way, but I just gave you an example of what is, what can we learn from the Kabbalah. Not the Moshe as a human being, it doesn't interest us, but what powers had the Moshe when he was a child, when he was this, and what does it mean when he was grown up? We need to know what transformation had he undergone due to his life, to his search and rising up on the along the tree of life. Then he was able to take the nation of Israel out of Egypt. How it was possible? Now ask all the world, ask the greatest rabbis, the greatest commentaries that are given in this world from in all 4,000 years, about 3,500 years. Read all of them, you will not find it what I just in 5 minutes have told you, what I have learned from the godly Ari. You see why? Because this is the Torah of the Atzilut. And this is now, it was just like an introduction to what we are speaking now, what he speaks about now, about this name Membet. Yes? Yeah. The Yud Vav Kei Pakad is not Yud Vav Havaya gefüllt is, but the Achoraim. Yeah? Achoraim, and we will see, okay, we will see it, we will learn it, what it means. Okay? Then, and in such a way, if you know how, if you know, listen, if you know that a lower stage, a lower level, dresses and Achoraim often of a higher level, then you could count the Achoraim, the name of the holy name of the Achoraim, that this lower level dresses, then you can count out, can come out, and you can count it, and you can see the power, which power now this lower level receives due to its elevation to the Achoraim of the particular level, high level that it dresses. Just an introduction to you to understand a little bit, just in global, to understand what does it give and why we do like this. And now we turning back to this line 33. After the point, key 34. Nimtza b'tikunei Zohar, because we find in the Tikunei Zohar, this is the book, the last book that one learns. In the Tikunei Zohar, in Tikkun, in between the brackets, Samech Tet 69. And we don't, and further he says what is about this Tikkun, doesn't interest us at this moment, but you can see this Tikkun 69, Samech Tet. So it's about at the end of this book, because this book counts 70 Tikkunim. 70 ways of explanation of the word Breshit. And everything waits for us. First, we work up till we will be able to understand things. Then, step by step, one comes to this Tikkunei Zohar. 35. Shemidbaer Sham, that it explains over there. The name 36. Membet. This name Membet. Remember this, that I will not need to translate it 42. But Membet. Mem is 40 and B and Bet is 2. The name Membet. Bebet Ufanim in two ways. Double point. Often Aleph, the first way. The first manner. Literally. Hu Hashem Membed Atzilut. This is the name of Membed of the Atzilut. Look what he says. 37. Hamechona Sham Diyukna Mamash. That is called over there really Diyukna. Diyukna is like how do you call it? Matreis, mal, and a form, or picture, or a mold, a mold. Okay, a mold. Klomar, it means 38. Shekulhu hashimot nichtamu mimenu. Why is it called mold? Because the kulhu hashimot, because all the names nichtamu mimenu are molded, are from this, how do you call it? What you're doing with this stamp? Are stamped from this. Like mold. If you just with mold you the stamp. How do you call it? The stamp. You stamp. If you stamp the from the stamp, you stamp it on something, then you see the picture of it. This relief. How do you call it? This. That what is stamped, you see this has the same form. Vehu Dalet Otiyot, the Havaya Bapashut. And what is this? Look. And this is Dalet Otiyot, the Havaya Bapashut. 4 letters of Havaya, of the name of Havaya, Yud, K, Vav, K, Bapashut, just simple, only these 4 letters. And this is the Keter. It means that the Keter gives, as it were, to the Chokhmah, these 4 letters. It means gives, it means stamps, makes a stamp in the Chokhmah in the form as of these 4 letters. Only 4 letters. Yud, K, Vav, K. And the Gematria, wait a moment. And the Gematria we don't count. The Gematria, so yeah, the numbers. We don't count this. We count numbers, you will see later, only with the Malchut. Why later? But here only the numbers of the letters. So Keter gives the stamps, as it were, the Chokhmah with 4 letters. Yud, He, Yud, K, Vav, K. Ve'eser otiyot de Havaya b'milui. And now the Chokhmah, and the Chokhmah, why is it Havaya without anything else? Just 4 simple letters of Havaya, without feeling. Why? Because Havaya, Keter doesn't have Aviyut. Keter doesn't have the power of the Masach. It doesn't have the thickness of the wish. But Chokhmah already has some. So in the Chokhmah, what do we have in the Chokhmah? In the Chokhmah we have 10 letters of Havaya filled. Yeah, filled. So how filled? Yud. We don't just take the letter Yud, but we write the letter Yud fully. Yud, Vav, Dalet. Yes, and then the second letter of the Havaya is Hey. We write it also as Hey, Yud, filled with Yud, Hey. And then the Vav is Vav, Yud, Vav. Because everything is filled with Yud. Why is this Yud? Why is Havaya in the Chokhmah filled with Yud? Because Yud is Chokhmah. That's why we see the Chokhmah in all 4 elements of the name of the Havaya. And then the fourth element of letter of the Havaya, we have also Hey, Yud. And if you count the letters, you will have 10 letters. So we have Keter, and in the Keter we have 4 letters, just plain Havaya, Yud, K, Vav, K. In the Chokhmah we have 10 letters, because the same name, but it is filled, and it is 10. And 40, we koch otiyot de milui shehen beyachat men bet otiyot. And the koch 40 we have, and the kaf het, it means kaf is 20, and het is 8, together is 28, and 28 letters, and 28 is also the name, is the word, a word forms a word koch. Koch means power, strength. And we will see why. And the koch, or 28 letters of the milui hamilui, of the filling of the name of the Havaya. So, like we take the 10 letters of Chokhmah, of the Havaya in the Chokhmah, and we feel them again. Every letter of these 10 letters we feel, we write it down fully, and then we get 28 letters. And if you count all of them, you have 4, you have plus 10 and plus 28, and then we get together Mem Bet Otiyot, 42 letters. So actually what we see in this way, that 42 letters come to the Zeir Anpin, yes? And Zeir Anpin makes, you remember what we have studied, and Zeir Anpin makes 42 zivugim with the Nukva. Why? Because of this, because he had received these engravings of 42, and he gives what he received, what he had received, he gives it also to the Nukva. 41, and this is the last sentence. Often bet who Hashem embed the Uvda de Breshit, 42. Shehem Zaini mei Breshit, Shehem Zon de Atzilut, 43. Sheyesh Bahem Lamed Bet Elokim, Vasara Ma'amarot, 42. Ha'olim Yachat Membet. And the second way of this, or manner of this name of 42, Membet, is 41. 41, the line 41, is Hashem Membet, the Uvda de Breshit, the name Membet of the act of the creation. So over there we have the hints in the first sentences. We have the hint. Look, 42, and here we have the line also 42. Shehem Zayin mei Breshit, that they are 7 days of the creation. Shehem Zon de Atzilut, that they are Zon, Zeir Anpin, and Nukva of the Atzilut. Shehem Sheyesh Bahem Lamed Bet Elokim, that they are, in them we have 32 names of Elokim. If you count every name in the whole action, in the whole act of the creation, if you count the names Elokim, you will count 32 names of Elokim. Ve'asara ma'amarot, and if you count the, how do you call it, ma'amarot, 10 words, yeah, 10, not 10 words, 10 sayings, 10 saying, huh? 10 utterances by which Elokim, by which the Creator created his world. Then you will count them, you will see that they are only 10, and you will see that there are only 9, but the Torah sages said to us that the first word, Breshit, is also 1. Also this is the uttering. Then together it will be 10. So what we have 32 names in the creation of in the act of the creation, and this what is creation is Zon de Atzilut, Zeir Anpin and Nukva of the Atzilut. This is the creation. And we have over there, if we count over there, we will have 32 names of Elokim, and 10 utterances that where the Creator have said, yeah, let be light, yeah, how do you, like this, or let's divide the waters, and let be firmament, all these ones, we have 10. So together, Haolim Yachat Membet, that all together they are 42 Membet.